Hi, everybody. I'm Pratibha Agarwal. We have a great topic today. If you've never joined me before, I'm an immigration attorney. I'm based outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia, but our clients are kind of located all throughout the United States. To get straight to our topic today, we have a great one. And the question that I'll be answering is one that we see very, very often. We meet with clients for consultations, and this is a question that comes up so often. And people find themselves in this situation, so many times, unfortunately. So many times people come to us, we do a consultation with them, and we learn they have a green card application pending. So they entered into a marriage, or most of the time they have come in with a visa. They entered into a marriage and with a U.S. citizen or a green card holder who then sponsored them for a green card. And that green card application is sitting with USCIS, it's pending, right? So they're waiting for a decision on this green card application. In the meantime, the marriage is going south. So the marriage is having problems. The spouse is fighting with them. And anytime they get into a fight, the spouse is saying, I'm going to withdraw your green card application. I'm going to have you deported. Other threats of that sort. The spouse, in some situations, in some relationships, becomes very controlling with finances, with access to emails, with access to social media. Not in every situation. Everybody's situation can look slightly different, but essentially what we see is a relationship where someone is sponsoring, sponsoring their spouse for a green card, right? They're not necessarily, they could be undocumented, but maybe they came in with an H-1B or they came in with a tourist visa or something like that that's expiring. But essentially the situation is that the U.S. citizen or green card holder spouse has agreed, the application has already been filed, but now there are problems in the marriage. What can you do? What can you do? Do you have to suffer? Do you have to suffer through it until you get that green card? Do you get divorced? What can you do? What are the options, right? That comes up pretty often with us. So really, there is an option. So that's what I want to share with you today. There is an option for people who find themselves in this situation. So if you have already filed for a green card, if your spouse has agreed, you've already submitted all of the documentation, paid the fees, and it was a bona fide marriage, which means it's not just for immigration purposes, and then your marriage goes south, the person that's being sponsored still has options, right? So because of the relationship going south, essentially, if you are being abused by your spouse, if you find yourself in kind of an abusive relationship, there are laws, there are regulations to protect you so you don't have to continue in that relationship, or you don't feel you need to continue in that relationship because of a green card, because of that work permit. Right? You can apply for this on your own. So you have two options, essentially. We can convert that application that you've already filed into a self-petition based on abuse, or you can submit a completely separate new application, which sometimes I recommend just because it's a little bit less red tape. It's a completely separate green card application that's based on the problems in your relationship, right? Based on your marital issues. And that you can do that on your own, and you do not need your spouse at all for that application. It's a self-petition based on abuse. And it doesn't necessarily have to be physical abuse. It can be emotional abuse, financial control, psychological abuse, name calling, threats of deportation, things of that nature. So if you find yourself in that situation where you have this green card application already submitted, already pending, but then now there are problems in the marriage, right? There have developed problems in the marriage, you can file on your own. And let me tell you, what you don't need in this situation is, one, a police report. That's not necessary. Some people do believe you need a police report. It is not necessary to have a police report. You can still apply on your own for a green card, for a work authorization, if you're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, and you do not need a police report, right? And even if you have a pending green card application. So if you're in this situation, give us a call. We can certainly schedule a consultation, walk you through the whole process, and let you know you'll receive a work permit on your own on that separate green card application in about 6 to 8 months. You will receive a green card in about 2 to 2.5 years, of course, if you qualify. So give us a call, and we can schedule a consultation with you. If you've never joined me before, our consultations are done through Zoom or by phone based on your preference. So give us a call at the office. The phone number is 703-348-1663. Again, that's 703-348-1663. That's the answer to our question for today. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Feel free to go ahead and put your questions in. Just a heads up that when you put your questions in, nothing of the information I share is general. So if you want specific information to your case, I'll need probably more information. I will answer best as I can here, but to create that attorney-client relationship, for me to be able to really provide legal advice to your specific situation, I would suggest that you schedule a consultation. Here, obviously, we're streaming on multiple platforms. We're streaming on both TikTok and on Facebook. And so we have multiple people joining from different locations. So anything that I tell you, of course, is not confidential. It's not privileged because we have other people listening in on this call. But if you want specific detailed information about your case, give us a call and schedule a consultation. They're done again by phone or by Zoom based on your preference, and we can accommodate you and your schedule. So would love to chat with you on your specific immigration case if you have questions. Okay, you can reach us at 703-348-1663. If you want to look us up on Facebook or on on the web, it's agarwalimmigration.com. All right. Hi, Deepak. Nice to join you. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Sorry, I'm having a little, it's Friday, guys. It's been a busy week. It's a busy week. Nice to see you, Deepak. Go ahead and put your questions in and I'll answer best as I can. Kumara is saying, can I apply my asylum work permit after 150 days? Or maybe she's explaining again. Can I apply for my asylum work permit after 150 days? Or do I have to wait 180 days? You can qualify. You can qualify depending on when you filed for your asylum. You should be able to qualify within 6 months. So yeah, you should be able to apply for a work permit based on your pending asylum application. Okay, you have to hit certain benchmarks. Rohit, hi Rohit. Nice to see you. Rohit says best lawyer. Great to see you. Rohit is one of my favorite clients. Silent Pain, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Anyone who wants to put in a question, feel free to do that. I can also answer some questions that come up pretty often in our practice. Okay? All right, so here's one that comes up pretty often. So basically, people that are already married, right? So they're already married and they have a green card. They are already married, they have a green card. It's a marriage-based green card, but they only have a 2-year green card. So maybe you got married and you only have a 2-year green card because your marriage was less than 2 years when you received that green card, right? So it's called a 2-year conditional green card. So most people that get married and receive a marriage-based green card, you only get a 10-year green card if and only if your marriage has been in I guess present, or your marriage has happened more than 2 years ago. That's when you get a 10-year green card. If you have a marriage that is less than 2 years, you haven't had your second anniversary yet at the time that your green card is approved, you get a 2-year conditional green card. And what that means is that at the end of 2 years, you need to show the government, right? You need to show the government that you are still married, that your marriage is not just for immigration purposes. So we have a number of clients actually that are coming to us lately with this administration. There has been kind of an influx in additional questions that they are asking, that the government is asking. Usually, I mean, in our experience, it was fairly straightforward to get this removal of conditions, to go from that 2-year green card to the 10-year green card, especially if you do have a bona fide marriage, right? Because you can show commingling of finances, you can show joint residence, you can show your names on the lease. Now they're asking for more things, more evidence to show that this is a bona fide marriage, that it is not just for immigration purposes. Okay. And the things that they're asking for are things like not just the top of your credit card statement listing both your names. They want to see actual transactions in that credit card account. In your bank account, same thing, not just the top page showing that you both have access to the account. They want to see that you're actually using the account, right? More photographs, more declarations, more details to paper that so they can confirm that you can go from the 2-year green card to the 10-year green card. We're just seeing a higher requirement for evidence than I think actually, to be honest, is warranted, right? Because really the standard of proof that you need for something like this is really just more than 50%. It's called preponderance of the evidence. You're probably not caring about that, but it just means that it has to be more likely than not, which really is not that high of a standard. So, but more and more is being required as internal policies change. But let's say you have that 2-year green card and you're up to get that 10-year green card, that 2 years is expiring. What can you do? Essentially, what can you do if your spouse is not willing to help you apply for that 10-year green card? Right? You don't necessarily need their help, but you do need them to show bona fide marriage, right? You need them to appear with you at the interview, right? You need their cooperation and willingness to show the government that you are married, not just for immigration purposes, right? So that could be problematic if you're having issues in your marriage. But there is a method for that, right? So if you entered into that marriage, not just for immigration purposes, if you entered into that marriage and received that 2-year green card, some people already have kids in this by the time this 2 years expires. And that is clear evidence that you did not enter into that marriage just for a green card, right? If you have children, that's pretty strong evidence. So even if your spouse is not willing to help you go from the 2-year to the 10-year, you can do it on your own. You can do it on your own. Or let's say you got divorced. If it's within 2 years of the divorce, you can still apply to remove those conditions on your own without your spouse. All right, so give us a call. There is a process for that. We can certainly help you. We can come to interviews with you, and we do that for many of our clients. So give us a call. We can walk you through that process. We can walk you through what that looks like. And if you want us to work with you, we'd be more than happy to do that. You can please schedule a consultation first. We're at 703-348-1663. Again, my name is Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney, and I help clients no matter where in the U.S. they are located. Okay? All right. So P. Bender is asking, what if I've been married and I can't find my wife and I don't have a green card? That's interesting. Well, give us a call because depending on, you may be eligible to self-petition, right? If you lived with your wife, if your marriage was bona fide, and if there was abuse in your marriage, depending on the timeline for all of this, you may be able to still apply for your own green card. If you are eligible to apply for your own green card, you would get a work permit in about 6 to 8 months, and you would get a green card in about 2 to 2.5 years, if of course, you qualify. But if you can't find your wife right now, we do have situations, actually, we do have a couple of clients where we have a couple of clients where they got married, everything was going okay. There was abuse in the marriage. There's abuse in the marriage, and then the spouse somehow disappears, and they have no idea where that U.S. citizen or green card holder spouse has gone. So they've tried to locate them. They're not able to locate them. They're not answering the phone. They've even changed their phone number. Okay, but based on the abuse in the marriage, we were able to apply for them to self-petition for a green card. So that again meant that they would get a work permit in about 6 to 8 months after we applied. They would get a green card in about 2 to 2.5 years after we've applied. Kylie says, what's going on here? I'm not sure. Kylie, what is going on here is I'm an immigration attorney and I am answering everyone's immigration questions. So if you have one, go ahead and put them in. And I'm also talking about common questions that come up in our practice. My name again is Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. I'm based outside of Washington, D.C. Our clients are kind of all over the United States. So feel free to ask your immigration questions and I can answer them for you. Okay. All right, guys. I think thanks so much to everyone for joining today. There's a lot of people. If you haven't liked us on Facebook, go ahead and like our page on Facebook, which is Agarwal Immigration. And it's the same handle on TikTok where we're streaming live right now as well. So go ahead and like our page where I'm on kind of regularly. So if you have questions, take note of your questions and ask them here, and I'm happy to answer them. But it's so nice to see everyone. Happy Friday. I will see you soon. All right. Thank you so much for joining. Bye.